Hi, thanks for joining us today on Envision. I'm Deanne Conrad here with Dr. Brian Maher, our superintendent, and we have a big project in the works, I guess we could say, following our bond election and the building of 2 new schools. That's going to require us to do some redrawing of boundaries. Take us through that process and what that looks like.
Yeah, it seems like you pass a bond issue, build the buildings, and it's really
the
that
children
simple,
will come.
there's a whole lot of stuff that has to take place in between there.
Sure.
And one of those things is redoing the boundaries so that we can maximize the use of the resources that is a facility. So we'll begin that process really right away here as we look at what are our actual numbers, what are we looking at in terms of students and buildings, and how do we get this to where it makes the most sense for the community of Sioux Falls.
Mm-hmm. And so there will be opportunity for involvement from the community through a variety of public meetings, the task force that will take this and really address it. So what would you say to people who are interested in wondering where their children are going to go to school?
Well, there'll be an opportunity for everybody to be involved, and there'll be varying levels of involvement. And here's what I mean by that. I think when the calendar flips from 2019 to 2020, you'll see a task force that's put together, very much like we did for the strategic plan, very much like we did for the bond issue, where we bring in probably 20 to 30 people from the community and go through the facts, and then have this group help us sift through the facts and begin to deal with the emotion that's sure to come with a conversation like this. And then from there, what we'll do is actually take that out from this representative group to talk to the community. So everybody in the community will have an opportunity to weigh in on prospective conclusions that we come to. Our goal is that next April, the board will see some options put in front of them, and by June, the board will make a decision. And then we'll have a full year yet to the 2021 school year to really get that out, educate the community, and let folks know, here's where your child will go, here's the impact on open enrollment, et cetera, et cetera. That's a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff for us to do.
Right, and using that process will help us gather the information, present some ideas. As I've heard you say before, there's not a secret little room with the answer enclosed in it.
This isn't a completed project that we're looking to have the community ratify. That is not what we're talking about already. We go into this truly with a blank slate. And we think there'll be some obvious things. For example, we don't want kids walking across the interstate. That's a natural boundary. We don't want kids swimming across a river. That's a natural boundary. So there are some natural boundaries that will continue to be natural boundaries. So beyond that, what makes sense? And that's what the committee and the community meetings and the multiple board visits to this issue will be about. And
this will potentially impact elementary, middle, high school. Again, not a written plan that says every school is going to be impacted, but it's certainly a district-wide look at boundaries.
And I think it will impact every level. The elementary level to a lesser degree than the middle level to a lesser degree from the high school. If you think about it, once Jefferson is complete, we'll have 4 high schools in the community. We'll have 6 middle schools in the community, and we'll have eventually 25 elementaries in the community. So every time you get a little bigger, the impact's a little less. Conversely, every time you get smaller in number, the impact becomes a little greater. So certainly, a lot of the conversation will center around the high school boundary change, but this issue will impact the middle schools and to a lesser degree the elementaries.
Sure.
So everybody's going to be able to feel the pain.
We'll share
including
in it.
Us.
Yes, indeed. We do know that it comes with a lot of emotion as families are learning about what school their children will attend for the future, and we certainly will keep that in mind as we're working through this process. Thanks for joining us today on Envision.